Welcome back to our next section of our collection. So I have concealers and powders here today to share with you. I feel like I don't have a ton of either. I mean, I do have too many for the average person, but I don't have a ton of either of these. So let's jump in. I don't even know where to start. Maybe I'll start with concealers. Go ahead and shove that off to the side. Let's count up our concealers. Okay, so we have 12 concealers here. Again, it's not a crazy amount, but it's definitely more than the average consumer needs. I only think one of these is high-end. Yeah. Only one of them is high-end, the rest are drugstore. So that is a great feeling. So let's go ahead and walk through these, shall we? Let's start with the one that is currently in my everyday makeup bin. That is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I have mine in the shade Fair 10N. I don't know how I feel about this product. Here's the doe foot. I think it's okay. I just don't think that it's the most, I don't think it's the most flattering on me personally. I've seen it the way it looks on other people and it looks great, but on me, I think it looks so dry. I don't know. I don't love it. I've used it, you know, I would say like 5 times. Each time I'm just not in love with the way that it looks. It just seems dry on me. So I think I'm getting my final thoughts about this one together, and I think that's it. Like, I just don't love it. Every single time I use it, I don't love it. We have 3 of the same concealer, just different shades. These are the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealers. I absolutely despise this foundation, but love the concealer. So I have the shades Light Ivory, Pale, and Alabaster here. This is one of the only concealers like ever that hardly creases on me. I love it. I use these shades interchangeably, but here is what the doe foot looks like. It's definitely more of like a traditional doe foot with that slanted tip. I love this. It gives me the coverage I want. It doesn't really settle. It doesn't really crease on me. I love the way this looks. I clearly enjoy it. I have 3 shades. I use them interchangeably. Sometimes I think this one's a little too yellow. Like, I think I could have just got by with these 2, but I have this one. I'm gonna keep using it, and I love this. I love this concealer. It's probably, no, it is. It's one of my favorites in my collection. I just love it so much. Then let's go on to another one of my favorites. This is the Revlon Candid in the shade 005. I talked about the Candid line a little bit in my foundation video, and I love this line. This line is fantastic. I love this a lot. This has definitely a fatter doe foot, if you can see, and it's like flatter and fatter. I love this. Love the coverage. I love the finish. I love the applicator. I love this product a lot. I can see myself definitely repurchasing this. I love this. Some more of my favorites. These are the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealers. This is the traditional one, and this is the hydrating one. They're both in the shade Fair Warm, and they look like they're completely different shades, but they are both in the same shade. I like both of these. Now, I do think I prefer the hydrating one because I do have dry skin. So I think the hydrating one just looks better on me naturally, but I love the coverage, love the finish. Even on the normal one, I love it. They have the same doe foot. I'm showing you here. I don't want to fling it everywhere. It's the same doe foot on each one. I love the coverage, like I said. But if you have dry skin like me, the hydrating one is the way to go. And then this one is really good for like normal to oily, I would say. But I like both of these. I use them interchangeably. I do think, like I said, I prefer this one just because I do have dry skin. But I can get by with using both, which I do like and enjoy. This one sometimes can look a little dry on me, but I still love it. Then we have the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover. I have mine in the shade Fair Porcelain. I love this. as well. These big doe foots were really popular for a hot minute. They had the, you know, their moment. They had their moment. I like this concealer. I've seen mixed reviews about it, but I like this one. To me, it's very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. This one is in the shade 320 Porcelain. They're very, very similar. I mean, you can see even the applicator is similar. The finish is similar. Coverage is similar. I would just say that the CoverGirl one is just a smidge creamier, but they're pretty similar. If you like those really high coverage, big doe foots, you would probably like either of these. Out of the three, the e.l.f., the L'Oreal, and the CoverGirl, the e.l.f. one is my personal favorite. Then we have the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade 10 Fair. This is in a squeezy tube. It doesn't have a doe foot. This I don't really ever use under my eyes anymore. I think it's just a little too thick for that, but I love using this for a cut crease or for touching up or, you know, fixing an eyeliner mistake, anything like that. I love this product, so I always have it on hand. I used to wear this under my eyes, but it's just a little too thick for me. But I still use it for all those other products or purposes, so I still really enjoy this. Only two left. I have the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer in the shade Ivory. I love this. This is a nice everyday concealer for me. It's more of like a lighter coverage. I would say light to medium. But if you're looking for like perfectly flawless skin, this is not it. But I do like the way that this looks. I like the way that it sits. I wear this like when I'm going to work or just running errands. And I love the way that it lasts. I love, love, love this. And at first I wasn't crazy about this concealer, but it really grew on me and now I really enjoy it. I reach for this one probably the most on a day-to-day basis. And then my final concealer is the Beauty Bakery Insta Bake in the shade Frappe Hour. This one has like a unique kind of wand. It's like a pointed wand. Do you see that? I like this concealer. It's not my favorite. This is very similar in my opinion to the ColourPop one. This one's not as drying, but they're very similar. I'm not saying that they're dupes, but they're very, very similar. They have a similar finish in my opinion. But again, I'm not crazy about this. I prefer the foundation over this. Would I purchase this concealer again? Probably not. And then we're gonna get into our powders. I have 13 powders here. Again, it's not a crazy amount. Is it too many powders for one person? Absolutely. And I have dry skin, so why do I have so many loose powders? I don't know. But this is our powder collection, so let's go. I'll start with the loose powder that's in my everyday makeup bin. It's right here. This is a little mini. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I think I'm the last person on earth to try this. And I love it. I understand the hype around this product. It sets my makeup beautifully. It doesn't move. It doesn't get oily. It doesn't break up. And it doesn't make my skin look drier, which is a huge thing for me. I use it under my eyes and it looks beautiful. I use it on my face and it looks beautiful. I am definitely going to eventually one day get the big size, but I love how cute this is. It's so tiny. But like I said, this is in my everyday makeup bin, so we're just putting it back over there. Now, we have the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. I don't think, oh, it's in the shade Translucent. I don't even know if this is still a brand. I just spilled that all over my table. I don't even know if this is still a brand, but this is a really finely milled powder. It's very soft. Like, can you guys see that? It's very, very soft, very velvety feeling. I do like the way this looks under my eyes. I'm not crazy about it on my face, but I still use it on my face. It's just not my favorite for my face. I do really like this powder though. So I don't even know, like I said, that's still a brand. I despise this packaging. It just gets everywhere, but we're messing with loose powder, so that's probably gonna be common. But like I said, I enjoy this, but I don't even know if it's still a brand. Then we have the Maybelline Fit Me. This is the shade 5 Fair. I have mixed feelings about this powder. I don't love it under my eyes. It is not as finely milled as the NYC one. It's thicker than that. But I just don't love the way that it looks under my eyes. I think it looks really dry. So if you have oily skin, you might love this. On my face overall, it's okay. But under my eyes, it's just too dry, which if I'm using loose powder, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be for under my eyes. I don't really go in with loose powder all over my face that often. I've used almost this whole thing. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, which I just really need to finish it because I don't think I'll repurchase this either. It's just not a favorite of mine. Then we have, I like the rest of these pretty much. Maybe not this one as much. This is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent. This used to be my only loose setting powder, and I used it for a long time on my channel. It's still very soft, very heavily scented, of course, but I do like this powder. It's not like my favorite anymore, but it does a really good job of setting makeup. There's a reason why this is such a cult classic. I mean, everybody, I think at one point in their lives has used this powder. Again, terrible packaging, but I do like this. Like I said though, very heavily scented. Okay, now we have loose powder everywhere. I like the rest of these. This one is the Laura Mercier Mineral Finish Powder in the shade number 1. I like this. It's not as finely milled as their translucent powder, but I still really like this. It's still very finely milled though, but it's not as finely milled. I do like this under my eyes. I like this all over my face. Out of the two, I definitely prefer the, just the normal one, but I still really like this product. And so far, everything I've tried by the brand, I have really enjoyed. Okay, then these three are like my top 3 loose powders, next to the Laura Mercier. This is the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I love this. It smells like coconut. It is beautiful. It does have a white finish, but on me, that is fine. I'm so fair. A white finish like powder does not affect me at all. It is beautiful. I love the way that my foundation looks underneath it. I love the way my concealer looks underneath it. I love this powder. It's very, very nice. I love it. And then I also really enjoy the Revlon Candid. This is in the shade 001. I love the packaging on this. It's my favorite packaging for loose powder. I think that is so smart. I love it. This is very finely milled as well. I love the way this looks. Like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of this whole line. I just love this. I love this whole line. I would love to see it expand even more. And I love this powder. The powder is probably my most used product out of the entire line because I use it with pretty much all my foundations. I've used quite a bit of this as well, and I will definitely repurchase another one of these. And then we have the Beauty Bakery Flour Powder in the shade Rice. This is another white powder. Again, that works fine on me. I like this. Definitely top 3, but not top 2. It is sometimes, if I go in with too much of a heavy hand, it can be a little too much. And I don't love to have to use a product that I have to think about. I want to use something that I can just throw on and go, but this is not one of those products for me, but I still really like the way that it looks. I love the way that my makeup looks underneath it. And if I can get the lid on, I really enjoy it. Then we have some powders. We have powders. Pressed powders. So we're gonna start with the one that is in my everyday makeup bin. That is the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth in the shade 110 Porcelain. This I've used and abused. Eggs is very interested. I've gone through several of these. I love this product. They did discontinue it. They still have the matte and poreless, but they don't have the dry one anymore. I really like this product. And up until recently, this was like my favorite pressed powder ever. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. I still really, really like it, and I'm gonna finish it up. There used to be a puff. Oh, there still is. Just kidding. I thought I threw it away. But there's a puff down there. I don't think I've ever used it. Oh, no, I have. Just kidding. I'm not like totally in love with the way that it sets my face anymore, but I still really enjoy it, and I'm gonna keep using it. The one that I think has replaced that is the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Finishing Powder. This is in the shade Fair Light. Again, I've hit pan on this as well. It's kind of hard to see with all the mirrored backing, but I do really enjoy this. This also came with like a sponge. I've never used this one. I don't really use products that come like that. Like, I know the purpose of them. I just personally don't like them, but I love this. This is a more like light powder, but I mean, it's Beautifully Bare, it's in the name. I love the way this looks though. It looks beautiful on all of my foundations. Looks beautiful under my eyes. I just really enjoy, there you go, you can kind of see the pan there. I just really enjoy this. Then I have this is the Winky Lux Diamond Powder in the shade Light. I really like this as well. This is a thicker powder though. So if you have oily skin, you would probably love this straight away. If you have dry skin, you need to be a little careful with this because it can look cakey. Like I said earlier, I don't love products that I have to think about, but I do really like this. If I need a little bit more coverage, I go in with this. If I know I'm gonna be out and about for a really long time or I need my makeup to last forever, I use this. This is a beautiful product to have on deck. Do I use it every day? No. But if you have oily skin, this might be your holy grail. I like the way that it looks on my skin, but like I said, you kind of have to be a little careful because it can be a little cakey. I hate the mirrored packaging. I hate mirrored packaging. Two more. I have the Too Faced It's Bananas setting powder. It says banana cream, but there's only one of these, so I don't know if they intended with coming out with more shades or not. This has the cutest imprint, oh my gosh, pressing in it ever. I don't know if you guys can see, but they have little bananas. There you go, you can kind of see there, little bananas. I really like this. Is it like super brightening on me? Not really. I'm so fair, but I do really like this. Because I'm so fair, I do have to be careful with using this in the wintertime. I think it can be a little too dark for me in the wintertime. But in the summertime, it's beautiful. I love the way my eyes look when I set this. I don't ever use this all over my face. This is strictly an under eye powder for me. It smells like bananas. It is so cute. I love the packaging on that. And then my final one is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder in the shade 2. I could have gone up one or down one shade to shade 1, but I still really love this powder. It works really well for me in the summertime. In the wintertime, again, I have to be a little bit more careful because it's a little bit too dark, but I love this. This is such a beautiful powder. It leaves a beautiful, almost like a natural radiant finish. It gives me the perfect finish every single time, and I love the way it looks on top of all the foundations I've used it with. Again, I could have gone down a shade, but I can get away with using it. I just have to be a little bit more careful, and I love this. Again, every product I've tried by Laura Mercier I've really enjoyed. So I just wiped my desk down with a rag, so excuse the weird looking pattern, but this, all of my powders and concealers. Again, I don't think that's like a crazy amount. It's definitely doable. And I pretty much like all of these. Yeah, I pretty much like all of these. I think my least favorite concealer is probably the ColourPop one. And then my least favorite powder would probably be the Maybelline one. Not crazy about this, but I do like the products that I have here. Like I said in, I think the first video, or maybe it was this video, I'm not sure, I'm kind of losing track here. I do a fairly good job of filtering through my products, and I'm pretty happy with this. I do have some new concealers and powders I want to try because I'm kind of looking for like a good powder that I just love straight out. But that is all my concealers and my powders. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.